Exclusive reporting from CBS News and the Washington Post is bringing new scrutiny to the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. We are learning Ginni Thomas used back channels to text with former President Donald Trump's chief of staff about overturning the results of the 2020 election.
This afternoon, CBS's John Dickerson joins us live from D.C. He's filling in for Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation this Sunday. And John, we're happy to have you here in Margaret's place. What strikes you about these messages from the judge's wife? And what's the larger story people should keep in mind as new information starts to come in?
The messages themselves are interesting because you see the actual words used. Justice Thomas's wife, Ginni Thomas, was feverishly trying to get the election overthrown. And so that's just interesting as a corner of this narrative about what happened on leading up to January 6th. The big issue, though, the reason this is important, is that the Supreme Court needs to have weight in American life. This is something that Chief Justice John Roberts has written about and worries about, that the judiciary won't seem independent. One of the ways the judiciary stays independent is if individual justices don't get involved in any cases where they have a personal interest. Justice Thomas did not do that. He had a case come up before him that was about these very texts, and he didn't step aside. He ruled on that case. He was actually the only one on the court who said the text could not go to Congress, who was looking into the insurrection of January 6th. So this is something that undermines, according to those who are looking at this, the faith that people have in the Supreme Court justices, and that faith matters because they rule on very important things in American life.
Lots of Supreme Court news this week. Confirmation hearings for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson ended yesterday. John, what are your takeaways after just a beatdown there on confirmation hearings, which are never, ever easy?
Right. Well, I talked about the politicization of the Supreme Court, and we saw it happening in this confirmation hearing. Basically, both sides, Republicans and Democrats, playing their roles. It seemed like at times it had very little to do with the law. That, again, undermines people's faith in the Supreme Court. Nevertheless, it looks like Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to be confirmed as the first black woman to the Supreme Court, and that would be obviously historic.
Let's talk about Ukraine now. They're, of course, still fighting off an invasion of Russia. We understand you'll be speaking with the former ambassador to Ukraine this upcoming weekend. What do you expect to learn from that interview?
I'll ask Ambassador Yovanovitch about her contacts still within Ukraine. Civilians who are just trying to make it through the day with bombs dropping on their heads, and also those who are in the government of Ukraine. What are they hearing? What are they thinking? What do they see from a week in which the Russian assault seemed to slow further, and there seems to be some reporting on Friday evening that perhaps the Russians are kind of reassessing their assault. So does that leave an opening perhaps for an off-ramp or some kind of peace, perhaps in some way? So I'll talk about all of those things with Ambassador Yovanovitch.
All right, John, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, sir. We really appreciate it. And we will be watching Face the Nation as we do every Sunday morning at 9:30 right here on Channel 6.